Hello and a very warm welcome. You're with World Business Report. I'm Sally Bundock. So the European Union and the International Monetary Fund have received new proposals from the Greek government to try to end the country's debt crisis. The details haven't been revealed, but a senior official from the European Commission says they formed a good basis for progress at an emergency summit in Brussels later today. Yesterday, Athens saw major demonstrations urging the government to stand its ground and reject any cuts. The Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras has discussed the plans on the telephone with European leaders, but he's caught between a rock and a hard place, as too many concessions would anger the very people who brought him into power. In the meantime, billions of euros are being withdrawn from Greek banks, and there's a very real concern the banking sector would now be insolvent if it weren't for the life support it's been receiving from the European Central Bank. So how are markets reacting to all of this? Let's go to Rico. He's on, excuse me,
Sally.
who's in our Asia Business Hub. Nice to see you, Rico. So could this be the day, the week we see a breakthrough? Talk us through market reaction.
Well, everyone is keeping their fingers crossed, Sally, but for now, Asian investors are cheering that Greece offered a new package of reforms to foreign creditors. And for investors here, it is a ray of hope that a last-minute deal could still materialize when emergency Eurozone meetings begin in earnest in Brussels in several hours' time. But you know what? On the flip side, Asian investors are also very cautious because anything can still happen. And it is unclear when and if an agreement will be reached, and if the Eurozone, the IMF and ECB officials will approve the proposal, and if Greece will agree to the commitments in return from this troika of financial institutions. But for now, it's positive, but it's also helping sentiment there. U.S. stock futures in positive territory. The futures market in America gives us a sense on how Wall Street will kick off the new trading week, and that will happen in about 8 hours' time. But a Greek exit or Grexit, Sally, could also have major repercussions on Asian economies because this could lead to a contagion impact on other weak Eurozone economies. And the European Union is a major trading partner of Asia. And economists say Asian governments and central banks, if there is a contagion, will still have some monetary easing room if indeed it happens. Sally.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Rico giving a reaction from Asia. I'm joined by a very familiar face to this programme, the economist Cornelia Meyer. Always lovely to see you, Cornelia. So what do you think? Will we see that breakthrough today?
Well, I think, you know, the pundits all say it's sort of a 70% chance that we'll see the breakthrough. I think we will see the breakthrough. Simply, if you look at it, Tsipras, yes, he's done a lot of grandstanding, but 71% of his people want to stay in the euro. So if he leaves the euro, that will not bode well for his future as well.
But they don't want the cuts either, do they, those people?
No, they don't want the cuts, and I think it was interesting. You had the Austrian Chancellor go to see Tsipras earlier last week. And he said, look, we understand it's really harsh, the cuts are really harsh. We may need to do other things like lowering, making the retirement age higher and so on. He said, look, it is a matter of investment and a matter of stopping the Greek people suffer. And I don't think that he would have gone out there totally without the mandate. He's, you know, very well integrated in the EU.
But if we do see a breakthrough, are we talking about a sticking plaster, or will it be a game changer?
I hope it will be a game changer, but it may very well be a sticking plaster because so far we've had several game changers. And the one thing that the Greeks are good at, or the Tsipras government is good at, is putting up some sort of a plan and then just lacking the specificity and then never bringing in the specificity. Had they become more specific, we wouldn't be where we are. Hopefully, he is encouraged by Mrs. Lagarde, the head of the IMF, really sort of having sort of blown her top recently, Friday or so, saying, so I've really had it with Greece. So hopefully he does understand now it's deadly serious.
All right. We'll end it there, but Cornelia will return in about 5 minutes because we're going to look at the International News Review. And of course, you can imagine this is all over the press. So we'll talk some more with Cornelia about this in about 5 minutes' time.